That's a stare down. When Wilfred Benitez won the junior welterweight title at 17, he had to beat the great Antonio Cervantes. Fernando Vargas, when he won a belt at the age of 20, had to beat the accomplished Yuri Boy Campos. This is not that, but Matthew Hatton is a proud fighter. He's shown up in shape and to win. And Canelo Alvarez is trying to keep this incredible momentum that he's built up going.
Underway, round one.
First thing we're looking to see is to see how Hatton reacts to Alvarez's power shots.
Good stiff jab from Alvarez, and he throws a hook that Hatton blocked most of. Double jab for Hatton. Good right hand to the body from Alvarez. Wings a right hand up top.
You notice about Alvarez right away, Roy, heavy hands.
Heavy hands. And that's why I say he's a little bit different from most of the Mexican fighters that I've seen in the past. He's not a guy who comes in with mediocre hand speed or mediocre power. He has exceptional power.
Hook to the body, right hand from Alvarez, and he feinted and tried to lead right. Good tempo here in round one. Approaching the midway point of the round.
The problem with a fighter like Hatton in a fight like this is that I don't think he has the power to make Alvarez respect him at all. So there's no way really for him to keep Alvarez off of him. Now, if he can try to wear Alvarez down, that'll be smart because he's an older fighter, probably a little bit more conditioned fighter, and he probably can take more than Alvarez can.
He made weight. He came into this fight in better condition.
Hatton. His campaign mostly at 147, and he only has 16 knockouts in his 47 pro fights. Boy, you like that jab that Alvarez has? He follows it up with a hook.
Love that jab. The only thing you have to wonder about a fighter like Alvarez is at this age, is he throwing really powerful shots? And if he is, they will cause him to tire more in the long run if he doesn't get a quick knockout.
Through a left and then a right hand that landed to the head of Hatton. Hatton tries to come back. Alvarez blocks the offensive.
10 seconds.
See Hatton's games.
Good opening round of his 12-rounder.
Relax a little bit. Relax. Breathe now. The mouth guard. Breathe. You did things very well now. The only thing, you know, you're like you weren't very intent on what you were doing. Better be careful because he can connect you with one punch. Be more attentive and bend your waist. You know, but be a bit careful because he's got two hands. Remember that. You gotta work that jab.
Double jab, you just come out, bang, bang, and counter with your right hand if you can, but just take that jab in his face. Getting them fast hands working it, turning. Remember, just keep nice and tight. It's early doors yet, early doors. Doing really well, right? Let's go, nice and tight now.
In the first round, Alvarez landed 16 punches according to CompuBox of 59. 13 of them power connects, 13 of 35. Hatton just 7 of 42 overall. Hatton comes out with a double jab and a right hand to start round two.
Alvarez is so much bigger and stronger and heavier handed, but hasn't really landed much clean.
Doubles up that left hand.
Beautiful body shot.
Best shot of the fight for Alvarez so far.
And if Hatton waits on him, it's going to be a very short night for Hatton because this guy's a real power puncher. You can't sit back and let him just pick and duck hunt on you. He's picking shots and just banging them on Hatton, and that's not going to work good for Hatton in the long run.
What should Hatton be doing, Roy?
He got to attack and make it an ugly fight. Don't let the kid sit out and set up. The kid is younger, he's bigger, he's stronger, so you must get close to him and make it an ugly fight. If you stay outside, you're not going to beat him.
He needs to be a little Ricky Hatton, Roy.
Exactly. He got to be a machine, like his brother. Try to wear Alvarez down. We're working. He said he's going to change his rhythm, but I don't see him doing that much.
I got to tell you, so far I think Matthew Hatton's fighting pretty well under the circumstances, you know, considering all the advantages you just laid out for Alvarez.
Good left hook to the body by Alvarez.
Speaking of baseball metaphors, I mentioned before, the punches sound different when Alvarez throws them. They thud differently than other fighters.
Like I said, for a Mexican sensation, he's a very strong puncher.
Well, look at his legs. I mean, look at thick calves, thick thighs. He's got a lot of power base.
Everything about him is against the normal Mexican regiment.
He looks Irish. He is Mexican. He looks Irish, and he fights George Foreman.
Exactly.
And he uses that hook to the body, does Alvarez. Left hand to the chin, right hand to the nose, and some blood from Hatton's nose as Hatton digs in with a couple of hooks. Counter right by Alvarez, and a short right inside from Alvarez. Oh, good left hook, right hand, left hook again. Blood streaming out of the nose of Hatton. They both throw left. Alvarez is hurt more.
10 seconds. 10 segundos.
No respect at all for Hatton's power.
Right, just don't keep wearing the stop. It's only your nose. Only your nose. Just go. You okay? Yep. Just that nose. Remember, don't stand in front of him now. Just get your second breath down. Clear head and use your jabs in it. Work them jabs. Don't stand in front of him. He was really moving well in the first half of the fight.
There's Ricky Hatton, the brother of Matthew Hatton, seated at ringside. He's getting booed. He doesn't know why. They're showing him on the screen. And the whole Hatton clan, mom to the far left. Girlfriend Jenna, Matthew there as well.
Weathering the storm, right? Right. Get them jabs, remember, he's going to blow in the next half of the fight. Yep, nice and tight, Matt.
Alvarez landed 21 of 49 power shots as charted by CompuBox in round number 2.
He really started to walk Matthew Hatton down at the end of that round. Started to care less about his power and started to impose his will on Matthew.
Roy, tell us what that feels like. I mean, you experience that where you just know that you are stronger and overpowering your opponent.
But once you get to that point, you feel like you got a guy out there in the middle of deep water who can't really swim because there's not really much he can do. He can't really hit you. If he does hit you, he can't hurt you. So you just playing target practice with him. You're just waiting on the shot that'll catch him, that'll either knock him out or knock him down because he doesn't have a chance of doing anything to hurt you. And that's what Alvarez is feeling right now.
Yeah, it does already seem like the fight's moved to the point, even though Hatton's kind of boxing well, that it's like, oh, what's the point? You know, like the point here is to see how long Hatton can stand in front of Alvarez, how much punishment he can take. Even though he's, fighting rather well, I think, given the circumstances.
Alvarez opens up, uses that left hook to start the sequence. Hatton rolls off the ropes.
Watch your head. Watch your head.
Left hand from Hatton, and then Alvarez fires back.
If Hatton could punch, this would be an interesting fight, because the one thing about Alvarez that he will have to change later on is that he's not afraid of getting hit. He does not run from punches at all. I mean, he tries to cover up a little bit, but...
Or move from them even.
Exactly. He's never really been afraid to get hit. And I noticed that in a lot of his earlier fights. Hasn't really learned respect for a punch yet.
Right clean.
A little head movement would serve him well.
Stop. Don't get caught up.
Roy, would you say that that's one of the areas of his game that he's got to improve upon as he moves up the ladder? His some head movement?
Has to improve on, immediately. Because if he becomes champ tonight, he's going to become a target right away. A lot of guys are sitting at home right now, such as Winky Wright, praying that he wins and looks for an easier fight and that they can get in front of him, because they see that he's capable of being hit and he doesn't really care about getting hit. And in pro boxing, that's one thing you have to learn to respect.
End of round 3 with Alvarez right hand. On March 26th, Boxing After Dark returns with featherweight titleist Yuriorkis Gamboa putting his belts on the line against Jorge Solis. Also that night, a matchup of undefeated up-and-comers when Matt Remillard takes on Mikey Garcia. On March 30th, just days before the Final Four, Real Sports premieres with a special episode on the NCAA. Among the issues explored, do college athletes deserve to be paid, and how would that impact the current system?
You're looking good now. Cut the shots, make him work, clip and then plus to the shots like he did. Yep. Once that jab gets going, Matt, the all cut comes through. Yep. But you've got to clip him better. Just move, bang, bang. Hit and run, hit. Okay?
Al cuerpo, work the body now, work the body.
Through 3 rounds, Alvarez has outlanded Hatton 49-16 in power connects, according to CompuBox. As we check in with an unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
Okay, Bob. 3-0, 30-27, Canelo Alvarez. You know, Bob, I got to tell you something. A number of years ago, one thing I really learned to appreciate from Roy Jones Jr., and that's a guy that can throw a 6-7 punch combination. And you watch Canelo Alvarez in the middle of the round, man, when he lets his hands go, it's 5, 6, 7 shots at a time, and he lands most of them. I mean, he's a heck of a combination puncher. One thing he does bad, though, he'll move that right hand out to the side, then throw a double left hook. And I think it leaves his jaw wide open. But here's one other thing I want to point out. He's wearing that Japanese boxing glove, supposedly to protect your hands. Now, I don't know if Canelo's got bad hands, but he's got the boxing glove. 3-0, Alvarez.
Good point Harold makes, that even though he doesn't have great hand speed, Canelo, he nevertheless puts punches together.
And he does have good power, so maybe he's using those gloves for protection.
And he won't turn 21 until July 18th.
Talk about the recipe for a great action fighter, a heavy-handed puncher who puts punches together and doesn't move his head. There are going to be some classic wars in his future.
That hurt really
left
bad,
hand to the body.
Yeah, that hurt bad.
You saw Hatton sort of cover up. That one hit the sweet spot. Then he goes with a right hook to the body and a right cross from Alvarez. Doubles up the left hand.
There's a cut.
Cut over the left eye of Hatton. Plenty of time to go here in round 4. Alvarez doubles up that left again and a right.
Oh, good shot. See, right there, he's not protecting himself. And a seasoned veteran will land big shots on him right there. That's the things he got to work on as he proceeds to go forward in his career.
Left, right to the body, right to the head from Alvarez.
You got to work on that defense.
Matthew Hatton's game.
Well, we know that if he's anything like his brother, that's one thing he definitely is game.
Runs in the family.
Maybe not as talented.
definitely not as hard of a puncher.
Big round 4 for Canelo Alvarez.
10 seconds, 10 segundos.
Second time in Hatton's career he's been cut.
See Canelo try to motion the ref out of the way so he could get to Hatton there.
Just weather the storm now. Just weather the storm. It's on in it. Just weather the storm. He's getting tired now, this kid. Just listen, Matt. You okay? Yep. Get your head back on it now. Just nice and tight. Yeah.
No, it's me at all.
Yeah. Remember, just cool down now. Relax. Just weather the storm now.
Right here you see Canelo come in. He goes a right uppercut followed by a left body shot. A beautiful combination. Hatton's hands were up protecting his head. He never saw that body shot coming, and that's why it hurt so bad. Then Canelo follows with a right hook to the body, left hook to the head, and a right uppercut. A vicious uppercut that possibly caused the cut, if not that right hand over the top.
Yeah, referee Lou Moret informed me. I asked him in between rounds, accidental clash of heads or a punch. He said punch caused that cut. So if this fight gets stopped because of that cut later on, it's a win for Alvarez.
Stop. Watch your elbows.
Boy, what does Hatton need to do to sort of change the momentum here, where Alvarez is just kind of walking him down and using big body shots to gain the momentum?
The first thing you got to do is you got to quit letting this kid back him up. Anytime you back up on a kid who's this strong, you give him room to use his power. He needs room to throw and to deliver those powerful body shots. So if you give him room like Hatton's doing, you're making it worse for yourself. If Hatton would just go at him and smother those powerful shots like that, it would be much better for him. But he's staying outside and he's allowing this kid to have room to deliver those vicious shots like that double hook he throws to the head and to the body.
Roy, Hatton's just got to hope that a clean shot opens a cut or something, and they stop the fight because of the cut on a clean shot. I mean, I don't see how else he wins the fight.
Yeah, he's dead. He's starting to get tired. You're starting to see his punches fall off a little. And Canelo's just resting right now, taking his time. So if Hatton was a beast like his brother and was really coming at Canelo hard, we'd find out a lot about Canelo tonight.
Yeah. Although even then, he's so outsized in the fight, you know?
We're in Anaheim, California. For HBO's Boxing After Dark, Bob Papa, Roy Jones, Max Kellerman, Saul Alvarez, 20 years of age from Mexico in the purple, 35-0 with 26 knockouts against Matthew Hatton, 41-4, 16 knockouts. Earlier tonight, Adrian Broner, unanimous decision win against Daniel Ponce de Leon, 96-94, and two of the judges' scorecards, 99-91. It was a closer fight than 99-91.
I mentioned earlier,
good left hand to the body by Alvarez again. Hatton goes back to the body.
That we know Alvarez can hit the fastball. Can he hit a curve? Can Matthew Hatton throw him a curve? Matthew Hatton's trying to throw him a curve. He's moving around him, stepping around him, throwing body shots, trying to throw his rhythm off. It's just that Matthew Hatton throws a minor league curve. That's why he's in the ring with Alvarez.
He's just too small, too light of a puncher.
That's it. This is about getting the promotional tool that is a title belt nowadays around Alvarez's waist, getting him more exposure on HBO, and getting people excited, and they should be excited about him. He's an exciting fighter.
Come to the end of round number 5 on HBO's Boxing After Dark. We're celebrating our 15 years of HBO's Boxing After Dark, and one of the classics on HBO's Boxing After Dark took place in the Oscars recently took place, and that fight was not included in the movie, but you know, Jim Lampley made a point, fight of the century. When this century's over and we're all long gone, that still will rank up there as one of the great ones.
It's an amazing fight, and it shows you don't have to be the most talented guy in the world to inspire people.
Not at all.
And you don't need a belt attached to anything to have a legendary night.
And I was going to say, to Alvarez's defense, He didn't ask for the belt. They offered to let him fight for the title. And if I were in his situation, coming up at 20 years old and got a chance to make history, of course I would accept the belt too. So
nothing against Alvarez, of course not. And it should be noted, Alvarez fought some tough guys early in his career when he was a teenager. Guys who went on to win significant fights. It's not as though the quality of his opposition for a 20-year-old's been bad. It's been exceptionally good. It's just that now that it's apparent the kind of connection he has to the fans, his promoter is being very careful with him.
Without a doubt, but anytime you can get 35 wins in a row, I don't care what nobody say, something's good about you.
Oh, and you can see it. You can see what's good about this guy.
Well, Max, I think the point you brought up earlier, too, and he gets hit enough that as he moves up and through the ranks and starts fighting better level of opposition, it's going to create even more intrigue in his fights.
You never saw Roy Jones in a Ward Gaddy type fight, and that was on purpose.
You're exactly right.
Stop, break.
I guess that's part of his heritage that he didn't avoid, because the Mexicans do not mind going to war, and I love them for that.
Barrera, just like Alvarez, turned pro at the age of 15 as a face-first brawler and wound up a consummate boxer puncher. Do you think, Roy, that Alvarez has the tools to wind up a consummate boxer puncher?
No, not at all. If you look at his attitude right now, his attitude is kill, kill, kill.
But that's attitude. Do you think he has the physical attributes to do it?
You can have all the physical attributes you want to have. If your mentality is kill, 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 and you punch like he punches, and you're built like he's built, then that attitude is going to reign supreme every time.
So you think there's a fundamental difference between him and a young Barrera, for instance?
Most definitely. Barrera was definitely a technician in the beginning. He just threw a lot of punches, but he was a technician who really didn't like to get hit.
Really, you think that?
First time I saw him, I said, here's a guy who's going to be on the top pound-for-pound list, not because of his offense only, but because of his defense. If you look at this kid here, he's different because he don't care about defense.
He'll be in the top 5 pound-for-pound most exciting fighters around, that's for sure.
And the top 5 best punchers for this weight division.
He certainly likes throwing those hooks to the body, does Alvarez.
He's already a top 5 ticket seller, it seems.
Everything good? Yeah.
Toma aire.
All right, breathe deeply.
Otra vez.
Again.
Todo bien. Hay que meterle un poquito más de velocidad.
You got to put a little bit more speed into it.
Remember, keep them deep breaths, but every time you move and he can't catch you, he's setting you up all the time. He wants to set you up all the time with that, doesn't he? Yeah, doesn't he? So you've got to keep moving, clusters, right? Every time you catch him, them clusters, and you move, he can't catch, he wants to set you up.
Here's the Alvarez, and a hook to the head, that hook to the body with a right hook following it to the body, then coming back with another hook to the head. Beautiful 4-punch combination.
We begin round number 7 in the scheduled 12-rounder between Saul Alvarez and Matthew Hatton. Harold Letterman, how do you see it so far?
Okay, Bob, 6-0, 60-54, Canelo Alvarez. Now, I know a lot of people are going to criticize me for round 4, which I scored 10-9. I could have easily been 10-8 because Alvarez won it so big. But here's it, made Canelo Alvarez doing more damage, landing the hardest shots, backing up Hatton, and just beating him up, and he's winning the fight. One interesting point, in California, the doctor has the right to stop the fight. If the doctor's sitting there and he says to himself, Hatton's taken enough, he can jump in and stop the fight, even though it's not in the unified rules of the Association of Boxing Division. 6-0, Alvarez.
All right, Harold. It's not as if Hatton doesn't throw back enough. It's just you feel the will of Alvarez just wearing and wearing and wearing on Hatton. What a combination by Alvarez.
Alvarez, in certain respects, also showing some patience here. You know, he's coming forward, he's throwing and landing the big shots, trying to catch him in an exchange. But it's not like he's just throwing caution to the wind and trying to run over him, Roy.
No, he's not. He's being very smart what he's doing.
Until that late shot just then.
Referee Lou Moret calls timeout.
Okay, remember. Wait. 1 point, hit him. 1 point, hit him. 1 point, hit him on the break. Ready? Go.
Who did he take the point from?
Come on, break.
Took it from Alvarez.
Let's stop it now. Let's go.
He didn't get him in point to it like he took it from him. You think he's afraid of the fans? He's supposed to grab that fighter by the glove and say 1 point from this guy.
Well, Alvarez wants to get that point back. Vicious body shot from Alvarez on Hatton here in round 7.
Listen to this crowd. Music. Alvarez's fans want to cheer for him so bad.
Hatton's only been stopped once in his career. Fights back and eats a right hand. Hatton comes back with a left and holds on. Looks like Hatton has weathered the storm here in round 7.
This is the fight Hatton has been leading all night. This is the safer fight for him. Either get it or get it.
I think he's going to get it, Roy.
Listen, don't be the macho man. Are you listening? Don't be the macho man. I want you to box up with your box C's fight then. Are you listening?
Yeah.
Box our fight, speed and agility. Are you listening?
Yeah.
You took a lot out of him then, so we can take the next time, but you've got to fight our fight. Are you listening?
Yeah.
Fast stands now, right? Next, I want you out there moving with the jab.
Over me, back and
Right, I don't use that.
You gotta fake him. Fake him. You've gotta fake him.
Here they were tied up. Hatton hit him behind the head. So he hits Hatton in the face on the break, but the ref had already called for a break by the time he hit Hatton in the face. So that's why I think the ref took a point.
Round number 8. In the last round, according to CompuBox, Alvarez landed 33 of his 47 power shots. Hatton threw 33 in the entire round. Punches total.
And nothing against Hatton's corner, but I feel like they gave him the wrong advice. They told him not to go in the fight bullyish, but you can't outbox this kid because the kid punches too hard from outside. So why would you stay outside and allow him to pop you with these big punches? The way Hatton should be fighting is inside, making it a rough fight and throw as many short, quick punches on the inside as he can. That's the safest thing for him.
Or at least it's the one strategy that maybe on the outside could result in success, because the other strategy clearly doesn't. Even if it feels like the safer strategy, he's not having enough success with it.
With the outside?
Yes.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying he should get inside and make it a closer fight.
Even if it seems as though it's more dangerous.
Yeah. It's not more dangerous inside. It's more dangerous out there. He's getting killed out there.
Right, because Alvarez uses that strong jab, and then he gets those nice hooks to the body end.
And he has to have room for that.
Alvarez kind of missed with that right hand, bounced off the shoulder of Hatton.
See that? See the room he's getting with that hook? You can't give a puncher that kind of room.
Break! Breaks!
You see Alvarez now walking in with his hands down. because he has not been able to land the shots really clean when Hatton's in a defensive posture. Roy, it looks to me like he wants to sucker Hatton into an exchange.
He does. That's the shots he wants right there because Hatton's giving him room to throw those shots.
Let him go.
And Max, you pointed out earlier, his punches just sound differently, just like that left hook to the body.
He's definitely a strong puncher.
Like a bass drum.
I mentioned Hatton had only been stopped once in his career. It was his 16th pro fight in England against David Keir in the 4th round at 150 pounds.
Don't hold, don't hold. Break. Get out of there. Seconds, 10 segundos. Cuidado.
Alvarez opens up at the end of the 8th.
Matthew Hatton earning his money tonight.
Next Saturday night, tune in for a very special HBO Sports doubleheader. We'll premiere the documentary Running Rebels of UNLV, an in-depth look at one of the best and most colorful college basketball teams of all time. Larry Johnson, Greg Anthony, Stacey Augmon, and of course the man with the towel, Coach Jerry Tarkanian. That same night, it's live World Championship Boxing with pound-for-pound candidate Sergio Martinez, fresh off his one-punch destruction of Paul Williams, taking on undefeated Sergey Zinzurek.
No, I will be.
Here's a beautiful combination. One, he must have copied off of me. I just can't believe it. A beautiful overhand right, then a left hook to the body that really takes the wind out of an opponent when he doesn't see it coming. I think Eddie Mustafa Muhammad may have had the best left hook to the body until this kid. He may join us now.
By the way, Mickey Ward had a pretty good damn left hook to the body.
Yeah, he did too. I must admit it.
Well, I think before we put him in your club, he's got to accomplish a little bit more on the World Championship level.
Well, I wasn't saying in my club totally. I was talking about that left body shot.
Cotto, when he was younger, especially with the hook to the body.
He had a good one too.
Of course, Joe Frazier, and the list goes on.
Let him go. Let go of his head.
Hatton. See, why would he back up right there? That's what he wants. That's what he should have kept. I don't understand why you back up and give this kid room to punch.
You're tired? You didn't make weight. You didn't anticipate the guy be around in the 9th round.
Yeah, but he didn't have to make the weight.
Right. Just that it indicates a certain level of seriousness in training.
It does. It does.
If he were fighting, Manny Pacquiao, Alvarez, something tells me he'd be on weight.
As many shots as he takes, that might not be the only thing he'd be on.
No, break.
We keep in mind he is only 20 years old. He is a prodigy.
Well, we understand it, but you said it. I didn't say it. You said it.
Hey, with that said, though, Hatton has thrown 30 punches to Alvarez's 16 in this round.
Well, Alvarez is a little tired from throwing those big punches, too. I told you. Big shots take a lot out of a fighter.
Especially the one catching him.
Seems like whenever he needs to, though, he finds that left hook to the body.
As he knows that will keep Hatton weak. Oh, good shot. Good shot.
That's what he's been looking for all fight, Alvarez. He wants to catch Hatton in an exchange with a left hook.
Hatton landed a good left hook.
Alvarez steps in with a combination. Hatton trying to tie him up, and does.
Alvarez threw a beautiful triple left hook.
Hatton showing his grit. Alvarez's power. Good uppercut inside from Alvarez. Hatton holds on.
He better.
10 seconds. Yes, segundos.
Hatton is as game as a biting sow.
End of round number 9. Well, earlier tonight on the undercard, James Kirkland, absent from the ring for 2 years. Back in action as Shandy Gibbs, no resistance as Kirkland finishes him off in 34 seconds of round number 1 in a middleweight fight. Then I saw Danny Jacobs out of Brooklyn, 21-1, working with Freddie Roach, taking on Robert Kuehler of St. Paul, Minnesota. And easy work for Jacobs. Another first-round stoppage, 144 of round number 1.
Working with Freddie Roach, and Freddie Roach turns 51 years old today.
Yep, and then Seth Mitchell, the heavyweight, taking on Charles Davis of Tucson. Davis with a below 500 record. Easy win for Mitchell. Dropped him 4 times in the fight, 3 times in round number 2. And that's how it ended. So a look at some of the highlights that spanned less than 3 minutes of action. Let's check in with Harold Letterman through 9 here.
Okay, Bob, I've got it a shutout. I mean, 8 rounds for Canelo Alvarez, and of course 1 round even when referee Lou Moret took away that point from Alvarez. And you know, I think Lou didn't want Alvarez to have a perfect 120 points, so he took a point. But be as it may, Canelo Alvarez pitched in a shutout. And, you know, I keep wondering, I keep saying to myself, if Canelo wore Reyes gloves, would he have gotten this guy out a long time ago? Because he's hitting him a lot of tremendous shots, but he's wearing that same boxing glove that Eric Morales used to protect his hands, that Floyd Mayweather used to protect his hands, and the padding is out in front. Anyway, 8 rounds to nothing. Canelo Alvarez with 1 even.
I don't think he would have gotten him out. I think Hatton's done a good job of protecting his chin, Roy.
Yeah, he has.
Yep.
He's done a superb job of protecting that chin. He's got caught with a lot of good body shots, but he has protected his chin very good tonight.
Roy, is there, do you get to a point here where you just say, if you're like Alvarez, all right, I got to try to figure out a way to finish this guy off?
No, you do what he's doing. You know, he's taking his time. He's being smart. I mean, this is his first world title, and he's still holding the composure like a veteran. And you gotta love that about this kid.
He is a veteran. 5 years in the game already. It's amazing.
At 20 years old.
Yeah, this is his 223rd round as a pro.
Yep.
For Hatton, this is his 309th round.
Yeah, but I can guarantee you, Hatton hasn't faced the competition that Canelo has.
That's right, and you know, whatever you say about whatever his limitations ultimately may be, Canelo, he is a prodigy at the age of 20 to be fighting at the level he's fighting and to already have the resume he has.
He's landing a beautiful hook when Hatton's coming in. Oh,
low blow by Hatton.
Oh.
And then Alvarez hits him off the break, and little acting there by Hatton. Lou Moret wants Hatton to get up.
Stop roughhousing him. Climb in. Come on. Go. Keep him up.
Now Alvarez
that hurt him.
Left and right.
Yeah, that hurt him bad.
Alvarez doesn't allow himself to get tied up this time. Oh, he wants to finish off Hatton here.
And I love how Alvarez pivots around and throws that left hook. I used to do that a lot as a young fighter.
Straight right hand off the left. Combination from Alvarez. Hatton comes back at him.
And I love the way Hatton came back at Alvarez after that beating.
Hatton is game.
Breathe. Did he catch you? Did he catch you? No.
Súbele las piernas.
Bring his legs up. There's a Vaseline.
¿Cómo andamos, güey? Agarra ahí. No te le encimes, hijo, no te le encimes, afuérate.
2 rounds. Listen, no, sir. We've got 2 rounds, haven't we? Matt, we've got 2 rounds now.
All right, let's start settling down. Okay, that was a push.
Right.
Really should have gotten it.
He see Hatton, whether Holden land a bad left low blow, looked like it was almost purposely. And Canelo responded to it, came with a beautiful left hook to the jaw. Then Hatton thinks about Hollywood and goes down for a minute, hoping the ref will do something.
Trying to win an extra point there.
Yeah, Canelo comes back and throws a left hook with right hand and lands with a beautiful double right hand right off of that lead left hook.
We begin round 11. A 154-pound belt at stake. Saul Alvarez of Mexico, 20 years of age, 35-0-1 with 26 knockouts against Matthew Hatton.
It's a shame Matthew Hatton isn't a really good fighter, you know? Too many really good fighters don't fight with this kind of resolve. And he does.
Oh, break!
Well,
break.
you know, it's like most of the time the guys that have the talent don't use the talent, and the guys who are a little bit less talented work the hardest.
Which is why when you get a Manny Pacquiao, you thank your lucky stars.
Very few fighters can put the whole package together.
Let him go. Break. Break. Listen to my commands.
You know what this kid reminds me of? Canelo reminds me of an early Darren Van Horn.
Break. Let him go.
Van Horn was slick like this, had good side-to-side.
Schoolboy.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
Definitely. He turned pro about 15 years old and became a junior middleweight champ pretty early, too.
And Iran Barkley ran over him in 2 rounds eventually.
Exactly. But this is who this kid reminds me of right away.
But with more talent, I think, a bigger puncher.
Yeah, this kid is a much bigger puncher.
Break. Break.
Hatton's endured a lot of punishment, but he keeps hanging in there and trying to get his big shots off of his own.
And with more fans, too, Roy, you know, it's so rare for a fighter this young to connect with people the way he's connected.
Well, he's totally different in every aspect. You know, he's not built like a normal Mexican fighter. He doesn't look like a normal Mexican fighter. He doesn't box like a normal Mexican fighter. So
yet he gives the crowd their money's worth.
That's exactly right. And he's not afraid to share punches. Oh, good body shot.
Good left hook to the body by Alvarez.
He brings it. He's right in your face. He's definitely an action-packed figure waiting to happen in boxing. And people know that. This is why they gather around him, because they want to see action. They want to see a guy who doesn't care about getting hit, and that's exactly what Alvarez is. He tries to avoid it, but he really doesn't care.
Now the drama here, as I see it, is Matthew Hatton's championship. Can he go the distance while trying to win the whole time? Not just last the distance, but go the distance while fighting hard and still trying to win. And that's what's on the line for him.
Breathe, breathe.
Es el último round ya.
This is the last round.
Dale.
It's the last round, okay?
That line in the ropes, right? Yep. The last round, we've got to get to the end of it, haven't we? Yep. We've climbed the mountain, haven't we?
Touch glove.
Remember? Yep, Matt, listen to me. Don't go machoing and try and go swinging there. Use your jab and nice and defensive. Are you listening? Yep. We're well behind now. Come on. All the way to the belt.
Breathe deeply.
Listo. Último round, güey.
Last round, okay? Okay.
Listo, Va a salir con todo.
Ready? He's gonna come out with everything.
Saul Alvarez and Matthew Hatton, 12th and final round, 154-pound belt at stake. No knockdowns in the fight. Alvarez has landed the huge power shots. Hatton has hung in there, though.
Alvarez has beat Miguel Cotto's brother. Now he's going to beat Ricky Hatton's brother. And pretty soon it's going to be time to stop fighting the brothers and start fighting the actual guys.
Well, Ricky's definitely big enough for him right now. That's for sure.
Oh.
thumping right hands from Alvarez to the head of Hatton.
Laid on his right side, Hatton did, and Alvarez did just what he was supposed to do, which is shoot that right hand.
The referee is looking at Hatton very closely now. Good shot.
Don't hold. There we go.
Counter right hand from Hatton.
Don't hold him, Matt. Don't hold.
He's giving it one hell of an effort now, I must admit that. With the limited tools that he has, he's giving it one heck of an effort.
Yeah, I mean, he changed the story of the fight from can Alvarez stop him to can Hatton go the distance.
Good hook by Hatton.
10,000 fans here in Anaheim to see the headliner, Saul Alvarez, the 20-year-old out of Mexico. Using left hands to the body all night long. Hatton with a combination of his own.
Break.
I'll tell you, I like the combinations by Alvarez.
Don't hold, Matt. Don't hold.
Don't hold, easy for you to say.
Oh, good
Left
shot.
and a right to the ear.
That hurt him bad.
Hurt Hatton's on wobbly legs.
What happens when you don't hold?
Somebody will tell that to the referee.
Oh, Hatton's game. He's going to make it to the end.
Matthew Hatton's a real fighter. Canelo Alvarez, it looks like to me, is going to be a real.
The winner will be the new WBC Super Welterweight World Champion. All three judges, Jack Reese, Raul Caiz Sr., and Joel Scobie, scored about the same, 119 to 108. The winner by unanimous decision, damas y caballeros, de Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, Saul Canelo